What's going on, everybody? Thanks for checking out the channel. I'm Kevin Duffy. This is Duffy Geeks Out, and I'm coming at you with my fourth film in my limited series, the 13 Flicks of Halloween. It's where I'm picking horror movies that I have not seen before in my life and giving them a watch and reviewing them. I'm going to do 13 films leading up to Halloween, and I'm having a blast doing this because I love checking out horror movies that I maybe have skipped over the years or just never gone around to seeing. Today we are doing, obviously, like I said, the fourth film in this series I'm doing, which is the 1986 The Hitcher, which, again, this movie was remade, and I've seen the remake with, what is her name? Sophia Bush? Yes, the girl from One Tree Hill. Sophia Bush, and I believe the killer in that movie was Sean Bean, but I haven't seen that one in a long time either, so I don't know. So I knew the premise of this original story, but I'd never seen it. And I have to say, I am so glad I waited to see this because this movie is leagues better than the remake. The remake I thought was okay, not the best. It was just kind of like a phone it in for some money remake, but it's actually beat for beat pretty much the same story. But this is just, the acting in this is so much better. Rutger Hauer as the Hitcher. Oh my God. So menacing. It's such a good, I guess you consider him a slasher. I guess it would be a slasher movie. He is so menacing as this Hitcher, and he just keeps popping up. And poor C. Thomas Howell, who plays the kid who's just trying to get across the country, to deliver this car from wherever the hell he was to San Diego. Oh man, he had no idea what he's getting into. He's falling asleep at the wheel, pulls over, picks up Rutger Hauer. He's hoping this guy will keep him awake. Oh, he keeps him awake, all right. Because he's going to, along the way, he keeps threatening to kill him, and that he tells him that he's a murderer. And oh my God, it's just, I can't imagine the stress of having somebody you don't know in your car at all, let alone the stress of that person then telling me they're a serial killer. So this is why I would never pick anybody up on the side of the road. I'm sorry. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're a man, woman, child. Maybe if it was a child abandoned on the side of the road, I would pick him up or call the cops at least and keep him company. But I for sure would not pick up an adult on the side of the road. I'm sorry. It might make me a terrible person, but I wouldn't do it. And C. Thomas Howell certainly shouldn't have done it. This is a great movie. Just the constant threat of, because C. Thomas Howell gets away from the Hitcher for a spell in this movie, but he just keeps popping up. Every time he pops up, he's in the back of a family station wagon with kids and a mom and a dad, and he kills them. He just kills them. Again, you don't see him kill these people, but I mean, later in the movie, C. Thomas Howell finally gets away from him again, and he stops at this little diner, and as he's eating french fries, a finger ends up in the french fries, and it's from the people that he's just killed, and oh my God. It's intense. This movie's intense. It's a great slasher. I mean, great. I'd say my favorite slashers of all time are the original Halloween and probably the original Scream. Those are my two favorite slasher movies. I want to say The Hitcher might actually be number 3 now, because this movie it's really good. The acting is good. The threats are good. The constant looking over your shoulder, wondering where this guy is, so good. I mean, you're alone. You're just out there. I mean, it's not, you're alone in most slasher movies. You're trying to get away from people. But I mean, at least in Halloween, you're in a town. You potentially could go to a neighbor for help. C. Thomas Howell is just on the road, man. There's nowhere for him to go. And even when he stops in these places, they're all rundown, desolate places where nobody's there. So what the fuck's he gonna do? He's all by himself. It's great. The actress who plays, I want to say her name that wasn't Dallas. Was it? It was some name like that. It was some city name. There's an actress who pops up in the diner, and she looks so familiar to me. I was like, where do I know this girl from? And it ends up being Jennifer Jason Leigh, who I most notably, or at least recently, remember as the character in The Hateful Eight that they're toting to hang. But so it was fun to see her in an early role. I don't know if it was her first role ever, but she did Fast Times at Ridgemont High, so I don't know which of these came out first, to be honest, but she was fucking great. She was great too. But yeah, there's a scene in this movie that I didn't know if it was going to be in the movie, because it was a scene that they do, at least in the sequel. And that is, in the sequel anyways, Sophia Bush's boyfriend is strapped between the the cab of a truck or the back of the truck. I don't know like truck terms. Basically like a big like 18-wheeler strapped to like the delivery bed of the 18-wheeler, chained up through his feet with his hands tied to the actual truck, and then the hitcher basically rips him in half. Right? Sophia Bush has the chance to kill him, and she doesn't, and then she rips him in half or whatever. And I was like, well, maybe that's just a scene that they just added to that movie or whatever. No, it's in this movie. They have Jennifer Jason Leigh in that scenario where she's tied up, and C. Thomas Howell has to decide if he kills the hitcher, he might be able to save the girl if he can get the foot back on the clutch, but he can't pull the trigger. And I was like, well, you know what? This probably doesn't happen in this, and this is maybe something in the sequel where they just took it to that next level. No. She gets ripped in half, and it's brutal. You don't see it, but you hear it, and it is a nasty sound effect. But anyways, the end of the day, this movie is a very good slasher film with very good acting and totally like on the edge of your seat scares. So I really enjoyed this movie. Probably one of my favorite slasher movies I've seen in recent years. And obviously this is from the 80s, so it's not like it's a new one, but I really enjoyed this film. The question is for you guys. If you've seen the original, The Hitcher, 1986, please let me know in the comments what you thought about it. Where does this rank for you with your other slasher films? Like I said, for me, this is probably number 3 now behind the original Halloween and Scream and then The Hitcher. But anyways, guys, I want to know what you think, so let me know in the comments. Click that like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll come at you with my 5th movie in the 13 Flicks of Halloween this Friday, where I'm going to be doing my review of the upcoming Marvel horror movie, Werewolf at Night, which I am super excited for. So anyways, tune back in for that. We'll catch you with another video maybe between then, but if not, we'll see you then. So thanks. Bye.